Picture this. You're at a party, and there's that one person everyone gravitates toward. Not the loudest, not the most attractive, but the one who commands respect without demanding it. What makes them different? What invisible force draws people to them like moths to a flame? Carl Jung, the legendary Swiss psychiatrist who revolutionized our understanding of the human psyche, spent decades studying what separates respected individuals from the rest. Through his work with thousands of patients and his deep dive into the human unconscious, Jung discovered patterns, habits that highly respected people cultivate, often without even realizing it. Today, we're going to explore 7 of these transformative habits. But here's the thing, this isn't just another self-help listicle. These insights come from a man who literally mapped the architecture of the human mind. Jung didn't just observe respect, he understood its psychological roots. So buckle up, because what you're about to learn could fundamentally change how others perceive you. Let's dive into the mind of one of history's greatest psychologists and uncover the secrets of genuine respect. The first habit might surprise you. In our world of instant opinions and quick judgments, highly respected people embrace what Jung called the art of not knowing. But what does this mean exactly? Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." This profound statement points to something most people miss entirely. Respected individuals don't pretend to have all the answers. Instead, they approach life with what Zen practitioners call beginner's mind, a state of openness and curiosity. Think about the people you respect most. Do they arrogantly proclaim their expertise at every turn? Or do they ask thoughtful questions, genuinely listen to answers, and admit when they don't know something? Jung believed that intellectual humility was a cornerstone of wisdom. This habit goes deeper than mere politeness. When someone says, "I don't know," followed by, "but let's figure it out together," they're demonstrating several powerful qualities simultaneously. They're showing confidence in their ability to learn, respect for others' knowledge, and the courage to be vulnerable. Jung understood that vulnerability, contrary to popular belief, is a sign of strength, not weakness. The second habit reveals something fascinating about how respected people handle their own shortcomings. Jung discovered that these individuals have mastered what he termed shadow work, the practice of acknowledging and integrating their darker aspects. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, Jung famously wrote, but by making the darkness conscious. This isn't about becoming a pessimist or dwelling on negativity. It's about honest self-awareness. Highly respected people don't project their flaws onto others or pretend to be perfect. They've done the hard work of facing their own shadows, their jealousies, fears, and imperfections. This internal honesty creates an authenticity that others find irresistibly attractive. When someone can acknowledge their mistakes without defensive explanations, when they can own their growth areas without self-flagellation, they demonstrate a level of emotional maturity that commands respect. Jung believed this integration of the shadow was essential for psychological wholeness and genuine authority. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people try to hide their imperfections, thinking this will make them more respectable. But Jung's research showed the opposite. Those who can gracefully acknowledge their humanity while continuously working to improve create a magnetic authenticity that draws others to them. The third habit involves what Jung called active imagination, the ability to see beyond surface appearances and connect with the deeper currents of human experience. Respected people are exceptional listeners, but not in the way you might think. Jung observed, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Respected individuals use this principle in their interactions. They don't just hear words, they listen for the emotions, needs, and unspoken truths behind them. When someone shares their struggles, respected people don't immediately offer solutions. or relate everything back to their own experiences. They create space for the other person's full expression. This isn't passive listening. It's an active engagement with another person's inner world. Jung discovered that this deep listening serves multiple purposes. It honors the speaker, provides valuable insights, and often reflects back aspects of our own psyche we need to examine. Respected people understand that every interaction is an opportunity for mutual growth and understanding. This habit also involves listening to one's own inner voice. Jung wrote extensively about the importance of individuation, becoming your authentic self rather than conforming to societal expectations. Respected people have learned to balance external demands with their inner truth, creating a centered presence that others find reassuring and trustworthy. The fourth habit might challenge everything you think you know about respect and authority. Jung discovered that highly respected people have a paradoxical relationship with power. They're comfortable with authority precisely because they don't crave it for its own sake. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity, Jung explained. Respected individuals are driven by purpose rather than position. They seek influence not to dominate others, but to create positive change. This distinction is crucial. People who desperately want power often repel others with their obvious ambition. In contrast, those who focus on contribution and service naturally attract followers and admirers. Jung called this serving from strength, using one's capabilities to lift others rather than suppress them. These individuals understand that true authority comes from competence, character, and care for others' well-being. They're willing to take responsibility without demanding recognition, to make difficult decisions without shifting blame, and to empower others even when it might diminish their own apparent importance. Jung believed this selfless leadership style reflected psychological maturity. When someone has integrated their need for recognition and ego gratification, they're free to focus on what truly matters, creating value and helping others flourish. The fifth habit reveals how respected people handle one of life's most challenging aspects, suffering and adversity. Jung's deep study of human resilience showed him that respected individuals don't avoid difficult experiences. They transform them into wisdom. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely, Jung once noted. This acceptance includes embracing life's inevitable difficulties as teachers rather than enemies. Respected people have learned what Jung called the gift of wounds, the ability to find meaning and growth in painful experiences. When faced with setbacks, these individuals don't immediately seek escape or blame external circumstances. They ask themselves, what is this experience trying to teach me? This doesn't mean they enjoy suffering or seek it out. Rather, they've developed the psychological tools to mine their difficulties for insights that can help themselves and others. Jung observed that those who can transform their pain into wisdom become powerful healers and guides for others. Their respect isn't just based on their successes, but on their ability to navigate failure with grace and emerge stronger. This resilience gives them a depth of character that superficial achievements can never provide. Moreover, respected people share their struggles appropriately, helping others feel less alone in their own difficulties. By being vulnerable about their challenges while demonstrating the possibility of growth, they inspire hope and connection in ways that success stories alone cannot. The sixth habit addresses something Jung considered fundamental to psychic health: the balance between giving and receiving. Highly respected people have mastered what he called reciprocal altruism, giving generously while also receiving gracefully. Jung wrote, "The great decisions of human life have as a rule far more to do with the instincts and other mysterious, unconscious factors than with conscious will and well-meaning reasonableness. This includes our instincts for both generosity and self-preservation. Many people make the mistake of either giving to the point of resentment or taking without consideration for others. Respected individuals understand that healthy relationships require balance. They offer their time, knowledge, and resources generously, but they also set appropriate boundaries. This balance extends to receiving compliments, help, and recognition. Instead of deflecting praise with false modesty or anxiety, respected people can accept acknowledgement gracefully. Jung believed this ability to receive reflected self-worth and psychological integration. Furthermore, these individuals give without expecting specific returns, understanding that generosity creates positive energy that benefits everyone, including themselves. They've learned what Jung called enlightened self-interest, the recognition that helping others ultimately enriches our own lives in profound ways. The seventh and final habit brings us to perhaps Jung's most important insight about respect, the cultivation of what he termed psychological synchronicity with others and the world around us. Synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see, Jung explained. Highly respected people seem to have an uncanny ability to be in the right place at the right time, to say exactly what someone needs to hear, to connect with others on multiple levels. This isn't luck or manipulation. It's the result of what Jung called developed intuition. Respected individuals pay attention to the subtle currents of human interaction. They notice the unspoken tensions in rooms, the hidden needs in conversations, the emerging possibilities in situations. This habit involves being fully present rather than constantly planning ahead or reviewing the past. When someone is truly engaged with the current moment, they pick up on information and opportunities that others miss. Jung believed this presence created a kind of magnetism that drew respect and positive experiences. Additionally, these individuals have developed what Jung called the transcendent function, the ability to hold opposites in creative tension. They can see multiple perspectives simultaneously, finding synthesis where others see only conflict. This wisdom makes them invaluable as mediators, advisors, and leaders. Jung also observed that respected people maintain what he called active receptivity, being open to learning and growth while also taking initiated action. They balance being and doing, creating a dynamic presence that others find both calming and inspiring. As we reach the end of our exploration, it's worth reflecting on Jung's ultimate insight about respect. He discovered that true influence comes not from external achievements or positions, but from the quality of one's inner life. The 7 habits we've discussed are all expressions of psychological wholeness, what Jung called individuation. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens, Jung wrote. Respected people have done the work of looking inside. They've faced their shadows, embraced their authenticity, developed their listening skills, found their purpose, transformed their suffering, balanced their giving and receiving, and cultivated presence. But here's the beautiful paradox Jung discovered. The more someone focuses on their inner development rather than seeking respect directly, the more naturally respect flows to them. It's like trying to fall asleep. The harder you try, the more elusive it becomes. Respect is similar. Chase it, and it runs away. Embody these qualities, and it naturally emerges. The path to becoming highly respected isn't about perfection or constant self-improvement. It's about embracing your full humanity while continuously growing. Jung understood that respect comes to those who have integrated their complexities, faced their truths, and chosen to use their insights in service of others. Remember, Jung spent his life studying what makes humans thrive. These 7 habits aren't just theories, they're observations from one of history's greatest minds about what actually works in creating meaningful, respected lives. So as you go forward, ask yourself, which of these habits resonates most with you? Where do you see room for growth? Jung believed that becoming who you truly are is the privilege of a lifetime. Why not start today? The world needs more people who embody these qualities, individuals who can hold complexity with grace, listen with their hearts, lead with humility, and transform their challenges into wisdom. By cultivating these 7 habits, you're not just changing your own life, you're contributing to the healing and elevation of our collective human experience. That's the true gift of respect. It's not just about how others see you, it's about becoming someone worthy of your own admiration, someone who can look in the mirror and appreciate the work you've done to become authentically, fully yourself. Carl Jung showed us that respect is not a destination, but a way of being. It's not something you achieve once and keep forever, but a daily practice of choosing authenticity over pretense, growth over stagnation, and connection over isolation. The question isn't whether you're worthy of respect. You already are. The question is whether you're willing to do the inner work necessary to let that inherent worth shine through. Jung believed in human potential. He saw what we could become when we stop hiding from ourselves and start embracing our full humanity. These 7 habits are your roadmap, not to becoming a different person, but to becoming more fully who you already are. And that, according to Carl Jung, is the secret to a life of deep, lasting respect. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Which habit will you start cultivating today?